When you were a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up? When I was a kid, I enjoyed playing sports, hanging out with friends, playing some video games at night. I barely used a computer. There was nothing in particular that I wanted to be when I grew up. Was technology something you always wanted to do? No. Like I said, I barely used a computer. I didn't know almost anything about it other than clicking into a Word document or going to a simple website. And how did I get into STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? I kind of got lucky. I got my foot into the door with an office job that pretty much I had a college degree in business, which is general. And I said I'd do whatever was needed. And I started supporting a program that was actually on all Navy ships. Um, and it was pretty cool. So that kind of got me motivated to learn more. And eventually I put myself back in school at Temple, and now I'm pretty into it. What motivated you to decide to study computer science or information science? Did anyone influence or inspire your decision? Very much so. I don't know this person's name. However, um, during my job, at one point in time, I walked by someone who I didn't even work with, but he worked in the same building as me. And I overlooked his shoulder and I saw a bunch of code. And he seemed pretty friendly. So I said, wow, so you understand all that? And he said, yeah. I said, how did you even get into that? He said, oh, my grandfather was a coder back in World War II. I said, wow, that's pretty cool. I'd love to be able to read that stuff. And you know what? From that point on, that motivated me to go back to school, to learn and how to do all that. And I'll show you. That's some pretty basic stuff, but I wrote that, and I think it's pretty damn cool that I can read that gibberish, so I used to call it. If you're interested in technology, something I think is pretty cool is that there's probably a role for you. Might not be the best analogy, but coming from someone who loves sports and nothing about computers when they were younger, take baseball for instance. In the world of technology, you have so many roles that you can do. And again, I'll compare it to baseball. You can be a pitcher or catcher, play the infield, play the outfield. In technology, you can be as much as a programmer or a system administrator. You can be help desk support. You can be a database administrator. You can work with networks and how all the computers talk to each other. So I think that's pretty cool that, again, if you're into technology at all, there's definitely something that you can find that you will like. When I was younger, all I wanted to do was go outside, play sports, be with my friends. When it comes to computers, first of all, I'm 34, pretty old, I know. And my family's first laptop, I think, was around 96 or 97. All I knew how to do was look up sports, look up things about the video games that I played. If I ever downloaded a file, I would have no idea where to go look for that file. And I would just so often just say, forget it. So something I would say to my younger self is don't be afraid to poke around at taking the next step and what it takes to find that file that I downloaded. Something I'd recommend too is Google. If you don't know something, Google it. And just don't be afraid to take that next step of you're curious, do what it takes to figure out what the answer to your question is. Staying safe online. So the biggest thing I can say to protect yourself in terms of online is I know you might be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and you don't think it matters, and you're feeling some type of way, and you just want to write something on a blog or an app, and I'm pissed. in terms of the internet, it's forever. And be very careful with that. So something you write when you're 8 or 14 can bite you when you're older. Just leave it off the internet. Write it down and then throw it out afterwards.